Okay, Christina, I know we already talked on the classrooms, I mean on the phone, so you know that this assignment's fine, but you did bracket. Though I don't see significant exposure values shifts between your bracketing, so I'm actually willing to bet that either the light quality was changing or there was a little bit of automatic, there's a bit of an automatic setting going on, like maybe aperture priority or something, so that you would change your aperture, but your camera would then adjust either the ISO, looks like it would have been the ISO, or maybe the shutter speed to compensate for the change in aperture. For instance, here, I would have expected all of these to be shot at 1/30th of a second, but when you shift to f9, your exposure drops to 1/15th of a second. And what we really wanted you to have was multiple exposure value options to pick from, and we specifically wanted you to use your aperture because with tungsten lights, they're not very bright, and so in the studio you will often be limited to shutter speeds at no slower than 1/60th of a second, because if you're shooting people, they're just going to move, and you can't shoot them any slower than 1/60th of a second. So if you're going to bracket, it's probably going to be with your aperture. We also don't suggest that you bracket with ISO, because of course then you can bring a problem of grain into the mix, and so we don't want that. So that's that. But that being said, your white balances seem fine, and like I said, your compositions are exquisite. These shots of the violin are just gorgeous. Your depth of field is beautiful. This is pretty shaky, actually. There's a lot of camera shake here at 1/20th of a second. So if you're not using a tripod, go get one and start using it all the time. This is very clear, and this is very clear as well. And then here's your last image, very nice. I mean, you know, minus the one that's got a bit of camera shake, they all look pretty good. And you know, you might have even been using your tripod at this one. But it might have gotten bumped or something like that. So make sure that before you choose your finals, you always open them up to full screen in that gigantic iMac that you have, and really evaluate them. And make sure that you don't turn anything in as a final that's got any kind of camera shake or lack of fine focus or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off here because I'm totally running out of time, and we chatted about this assignment on the phone already. Okay, so thanks so much for getting it in. Good job, and I will see you next week.